Welcome back, Saints. I know, It's been a minute. Don't yell at me. Don't curse me out. Get it out. Get all of it out now. Say what you have to say. Drop it in the comments. I already know. But we're back. And I mean it this time. Like, this is for real, for real. Season 2, episode 1. We're just going to start over. Because you know what? Life has lifed me hard. And, it took me out. It took a minute. But here we are. New space. Did I just hit that mic? Jesus Christ. New season, new space. Same me. Just a fair warning. I no longer live in the hood. I moved back uptown. However, I guess I'm like in Germantown now. I did move down the street from a firehouse. So I would bet maybe at least 3 times you might hear sirens. Can't do anything about it. At least this time they're saving a life, and it's not like before when you can hear sirens and someone could be shot and dead. So we took our winnings when we can. How is everybody? How are you? I know. Listen, it was time because y'all, not only have you been messaging Lur asking where I was at, someone stopped me in a Dave and Buster's. I posted pictures of me and my man, and more than one person responded to it. They sent my own post back to me and said, "We don't care about this. When are you coming back to the pod?" Someone said, "This is cute, but we miss you. When are you coming back to work?" And I was like, you know what? Clocked. Y'all don't give a damn about nothing else. Here we are. So I just feel like, yeah, it was time. And I will say, in my defense, I did film like 2 episodes a couple months ago, and it was an attempt for me to come back. And one of the episodes, I filmed 2 episodes back to back. The first episode actually wasn't bad. I was a little sick, you could tell, but otherwise, like, it really wasn't bad. The second episode, I yawned so much in that episode. I was like, I cannot put this out. I was exhausted, and I kind of like forced myself to get up and do it, because I was like, if I don't get up and do it, then I'll never sit down and do, like, that was my fear. If I don't, kind of like what I'm doing now, even though I've been wanting to do this for a couple of days now, so that's why I'm doing it. But I was like, if I don't force myself to sit down and pull this camera out and pull this mic out, I'm never going to do it. And I like potting, and I like talking to y'all, and it's very therapeutic. And my lady, because I got a lady, shout out to her, she has been mentioning that, like, I took an outlet away from myself that is kind of healthy for me. So when I feel like I don't have anywhere to go mentally, or I just feel like I'm like in a rut or I'm stuck, I kind of took away my source of letting go of, all that stress and stuff. So we're back now. Just really quick, before we get into it, just damn iPad, I'm just gonna fire off some stuff so that we can catch up, and then we'll go from there. Because y'all are, the DMs are, it gets to a point. Y'all bullied me to come back, which was good. But let's just recap the year, because it's been a year and it's been a year and some months since I actually dropped an episode. So let's just rapid fire off what the last year looked like, and then we'll go from there. We'll start over, and then we don't have to talk about this ever again, ever in life. If y'all see me look over, it is because I am mirroring. The government just reset me. When I'm filming to my TV screen. So I just want to make sure that I don't look like an asshat. And also, I just realized I can't read. I can see it on here. I can't read the time on there because my vision has gone to shit. I should have put that on here too. Can't see anything. It's blurry. I'm 100. Here we go. I guess this is starting from August. I feel like the last episode I put out was somewhere like August September or August, September, October. No, August, September. More probably August. What does Sheree say? Spring, summer, joggers. All right, so this is August to just now when I hit the play. Okay. Started dating. Brother got sick. Brother started chemo. I stopped filming late night with Larry and Lionel. I withdrew from school. And then I stopped filming Girl, We Need to Talk. And then chemo started. Brother's hair fell out. Family agreed to cut hair. I am the only motherfucker who cut her hair. And I do mean cut down. Cut it. And then, oh, you know what? My dad did shave his head down low. Like, low. My mom, we gave a pass because she started her lock journey. My sister, you know, I just realized my goal was to not curse. We're like, what, 5 minutes in? 6 minutes in? I did pretty good, I think. We'll try it again. My sister was like, oh, I'll cut it. I want to cut my hair. We'll make a big 3-pack and da-da-da-da-da. Bitch didn't cut not even an inch. This is a woman who comes to me all the time asking me to cut her hair. But this particular time, she needed to go to a stylist to get it done. Who do you think you are? So guess what? I went through a year, no hair. My brother went through a year, no hair. My dad cut his once. And that was it. Her hair's down to her ass. I'm pissed. Where are we? Hair. Withdrew from social media, social settings, social people, social anything where other people were. I was not. I was spending my nights at the hospital. Somewhere, it's at some point in time, we do the Atlanta show. Go to Atlanta, have a blast. Damn, even in Atlanta, they was like, when are you coming back to the pod? Atlanta came back, hard launched. Some of you didn't like that either. That's okay. I tried to come back to potting, failed. I considered quitting my job, like real bad. Didn't do it. Had to pay my bills because I haven't sold pictures of my feet on the internet. You know why? Because they don't want just pictures of your feet. They want pictures of your feet attached to pictures of your ass cheeks. And I'm just not there yet. Brother got done chemo. Didn't have to do it anymore. Took the sick boy to Disney for us to celebrate. I started therapy. That might have been it. I think that was after Disney. Yeah. After Disney. Went back to work. They sent my ass home because I was having health problems at work and I thought I was going to die. Went to the doctor. PCOS. Your girl's got PCOS. And you know what? That checks out. So then I was dealing with that. The PCOS gave me anemia. And I don't mean like just anemic. I mean severe anemia is what they put in my thing. You're supposed to have like a hemoglobin, like red blood cell of like, let's say it's like a 6 or a 7 or 6.1, 7.2, somewhere in there. Ask me what mine was. I'll tell you. It was like a 2. It was a 2. The doctor was like, I don't even know how you're walking around. Ice. I've been eating ice. I eat ice like it's nobody's business. Whatever. That anemia, that won me 5 weeks of iron transfusions. Pure hell. I will never. They cannot do that to me ever again. That was the worst thing I think I've ever been through. First of all, it's cold. And I don't mean the hospital is cold. I mean the iron is cold. Like the bag, it's ice cold. You can feel it. It was the worst. Also, speaking of, let's put a pause on this. Let me just mark up. I have to get these iron transfusions, right? I go once a week for 5 weeks straight. The first time I go, my boyfriend's supposed to go with me. Something happened. I think he got a flat tire. So he dropped me off and then went to get his tire fixed, and he picked me up or something. Like, he picked me up. Yeah. So the first time I go, I'm by myself. I'm crying bad. But like, fine. Lady comes in immediately, puts the, does the needle, puts the IV in. I was in there for, I think, like 30 to 45 minutes. Done. Cool. They tell me the side effects and everything. Like, you might have lower back pain. You might not be able to poop. There was something else. Like, there's like a whole bunch of stuff. Leave, go home. Oh, they said like, you might like be exhausted from this the next day. Next day, wiped out. Don't go to work. I'm like dead tired. Oh, and it makes your body sore. Body is sore. I'm exhausted. I don't go to work. Next week I go back and I don't have the same person. Why did the camera pause? Are you still recording? F. It doesn't say it's not recording. What if it's not recording though? It's just frozen. God, dog it all. I feel like if I get up and then I see that I'm going to be so annoyed if I get, please hold. Okay. It was in fact recording. So I just got my big ass up for no reason. So I go back the second week and there's 5 weeks. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I go back the second week. My appointment is later. I go to a like totally different side, different person, setting me up. Older black lady, not like 100 years old. She's like maybe 60s, maybe. You can't tell because black don't crack. Anyway, she pulls my arms out and she's like checking my arms. I can't do it because I have this freaking thing on. But she's like checking my arms and she's like pushing I wish y'all could see. Like, even now, I can't tell if you can see, but like my vein is like busting out of my arm. I have good veins. I've always had good veins. I don't like getting needles, but that's one thing they always tell me. I have good veins. They never have a problem getting in. So she's like pushing down on my arm. She goes to the other one. She pushes that one. She goes down to my wrist, pushes those. And in my mind, I'm like, I don't know. How was you cool? Like, what? Why would you be down here? She turns my motherfucking hand around and pushes on this. And she was like, okay. I snatched my hand back. I said, we will not be going in the hand. And she was like, oh, okay. You don't want to go in the hand. Are you crazy? Why would your first thought be the hand? And mind you, before I had even said that, she was like, if we do have to do the hand, she was like, no. She says, before she even flipped the hand over, she's like, you have really good veins right here in your wrist, but that's going to hurt. I'm like, did you get your bedside manner at the freaking Ronald McDonald house? Why would you say that? And we're not going in my wrist, and we're damn sure not going in my hand. So she's like, all right, you don't want to do the hand. Why would I want to do the hand? Anyway, so she goes back to the arm and she's still like pushing on my vein. Like, she can't get the vein. So then she was like, did you drink water before your appointment? That comes out of left field. She's like, did you hydrate? Did you drink water? And I was like, I mean, I drank water today, but like I didn't drink. So I think she asked me like how much. I was like, I didn't drink like a ridiculous amount. No one told me that I had to drink a certain amount of water. Like, before I had to get the iron transfusion, I had to get a pelvic exam and I had to drink like 64 ounces of water or something like that. So all day at work, I was like counting how many times I had filled up my water bottle to make sure I drank the right amount of water, because there needs to be water in there for them to, do the exam or whatever, the ultrasound. So I'm like, nobody ever told me anything about that. So like, I drank water, but I don't know if I drank enough. So I don't know what she's talking about. She's like, yeah, because your veins aren't, what did she say? They're not popping up for me or something like that. But she hadn't even like tied the little like, crackhead band around me yet. She just was just free ball, just pushing. So I'm like, that's odd to me. And My man was with me the second time. So I was like, I'm looking at him. He's looking at me. And I'm about to lose it. I'm about to pack my shit so we can go. So I was like, I don't stand. So I'm like, yeah, I drank water, but I don't know if I drank enough. So she's like, all right, well, what arm did they use the last time? I said, they used the right arm. She said, do you have a preference? I'm like, I don't really care. But the machine was on the right side. So I was like, they did the right side last time. We can do the left this time and just move the machine, because I knew I was getting it for 5 weeks straight. So I was like, I don't want them to keep going in the same arm because I want to give my vein a break. She says, okay. She comes to the left arm and she ties the band around me, and she's like, telling me to pump, like, make the fist or whatever, make my vein come up or whatever. The vein comes up. I can see it. And she's still like pushing on it. I'm like, this is taking a really long time. So then she is about to put the needle in, but you can tell she's unsure. So I'm like, okay. And then I kind of like start getting, like, I'm getting anxious. So she's like, you just can't snatch away from me when I do it. So it's like, I'm not going to snatch away from you, but like, I want you to be sure. I was like, I don't want you to have to stick me twice. So if this is not it, let's just do the other arm. So she's like, no, this should be fine. Okay. So she goes to put the needle in. Never in my life has someone putting a needle in hurt. Now, I don't enjoy it. And like, of course, the prick of the needle going, like puncturing my skin hurts. But this hurt beyond puncturing the skin. Like, we were way past that point and it hurt. And at some point, she goes in and she says that basically like my vein was like flat or something. She's like, you're dehydrated. I'm like, okay. They didn't say that the first time, and no one told me anything about water the first time. So I don't know how I could be dehydrated. I'm like, okay, whatever. So then I'm like, all right, I'm drink the water next time. So we start, it's fine. But she ends up shifting the needle while it's in my freaking arm. And then she does something like, because they put the IV in, and then they take this like flat, like this, not flat, this like clear tape or like sticker, kind of like when you get a tattoo, like that little second skin that they put on you. She takes something like that and puts that over top of where the IV is, because I have to prop my arm up while this thing is pumping. So she goes to do that, and attached to the IV is the little connector piece that connects my IV that's in my arm to the actual machine that is the iron bag that's pumping into my vein. The connector piece is like this big, and it's probably about that thick. It's like a plastic tube. It looks like almost like a syringe, but smaller and like a small and short one. Why did she let the syringe just fall to the side? Like, the thing is in my arm, in my vein. The connector piece is here, and instead of her like setting it down and taping it down so it doesn't move, she just lets it fall. But it's heavy, so when it falls over, it snags the IV. I'm like, hey lady, you gonna have to do better, or else we're gonna get to fighting up in here. So I like yank, kind of like move my arm, and she's like, oh, sorry, let me tape it up. I'm like, sorry, let me tape it up. Why didn't you have the tape already? So she does that or whatever. She comes back. She does the whole thing. And I want to say, no, okay. So she does that. We get done. We're about to leave. And she's like, make sure you drink your water. Cool. That's the second week. Third week, I go back. Same person, same place, same time appointment. So now I'm like, okay, if I keep this 4:30 appointment, I guess I have her, because it's the last appointment. Like, she must be the person who takes everybody at this hour, because there's no one, like, it was quiet. And I'm on the infusion floor. So like, people were getting chemo and stuff like that on the opposite side. But by the time I got there, it was quiet. There was like no one there. So you could tell I had the last block of appointments. And so they must have just condensed it down to this one little room. So I see her again. We making jokes. I got my man with me. We're laughing. We joking. We're like in there talking and everything. And then she's like, did you drink your water? I was like, yes, ma'am, I did. I drank my water. She's like, okay, good. And she says, she asks if I ate or something like that. Like, yeah, I ate. I sit in the chair, and I'm like, I drank my water this time. So I know I'm not gonna have no problems. Why I get in the chair and this raggedy ass lady tells me she can't find a vein. What are you talking about? Yes, you can. Yes, you can, and yes, you will. So she goes again. Oh my God. Again, she goes to the vein. She's pushing, don't see nothing. Goes down to the wrist. I'm like, I don't know why you keep going. Like, so then she turns my hand over and I move my hand again. I said, we're not doing the hand. And she's like, all right, she don't want to do the hand. You don't like the hand. Who does? Who goes to the doctor and says, take it from the hand? No one. So she was like, what arm did we do last week? I said, we did the left. Let's do the right. She goes to the right, ties it up, wipes me down. And she's like looking at the arm, but you could tell again, she's not sure. So she was like, we might actually have to do the left because your vein looks better. Your veins look better on that side. I'm like, okay, let's do that. She goes back to the left side. She was like, all right, we're gonna try it. I was like, wait, what do you mean by try it? Like, I don't want you to have to do this twice. So if this is not it and you can't get it out the arm, I said, if you can't get out the arm, is the next place that you have to go my hand? And she was like, that's the easier place. And she was like, because your veins are, they look good to me in the hand. So I'm like, okay. So I said, so I was like, okay. So she leans, she's looking at the arm, but she's like this close to my arm. Like, she's leaned in. So I'm like, nigga, if you got to stare this hard at the vein, don't touch it. That means you're not sure. Don't touch it. So I was like, let's just do the hand. So she was like, no, it's fine. I think I got it. And I was like, you keep saying you think. And I'm not like cursing her out, but like at this point I've seen her 2 weeks straight. So we like kind of just talking. I'm like, you keep saying you think. And she was like, no, you're good. And she's like, we gonna see, because I know you don't want me to do the hand. I'm like, well, I don't want you to stick me twice either. Like, so she goes to the arm. Again, painful. So I'm sitting here and I have my man is sitting to the left of me. She's sitting like kind of in between us, because she's not in between us, but like he's sitting next to me. I have my arm up on the pillow and she's leaned, like her head is between us. So she goes to put the thing in and I can't look because it hurts so bad. So I turn to look away and she's like, I don't know about this. What that mean? So then I was like, is it not working? And she's like, your blood is moving like really slow. So she's telling me, make the fist. So I make the fist and I am like with all my might, like balling my fist up, trying to get the blood to come down. And she's like, it's just not moving. So I asked him and she was like, your honey's sitting right next to me. He can tell you. So I'm like, tell me if it's moving or not. I was like, is it coming out? And he was like, it's coming out, but it is slow. So I'm like, all right. So she was like, I'm gonna give it a second though. And she was like, it might drip down. And then so finally the blood comes through. So she's like, all right. She's like, your blood came through. We're fine. So she was like, I'm gonna hook you up and everything. You should be good. And she was like, as long as you don't swell or anything like that, then we're fine. So then I was like, well, why would I swell? You know what I mean? Like she just was like saying stuff that she knew what it meant, but I don't. So I'm like, well, why would it swell? Like, why are you saying that? What happens if it swells? Does my vein burst? Like, why? What does that mean? So I'm like, okay. She hooks the machine up. She presses the button, and they always ask me, like, do you want water? Do you want cookies, Cheez-Its? And they will give me a warm blanket because the iron infusion makes you cold. So I think this time I had asked for a blanket. The blanket is literally, I wish y'all could see like my house. Where I am, let's say the blanket is here where the iPad is, because y'all can see that. She hooks it up, presses the button, the iron starts to go. She walks over to the blanket, and by the time she gets to the blanket, my arm looks like a balloon and it hurts. So I'm like talking to my boyfriend. I was like, I say something like, I'm just about to say it. I say something like, do you want to go to the, and I like look down at my arm and he's like, what's wrong? And I said, something's not right. And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, something's not right. Something's not right. And he was like, does it hurt? And I was like, yeah. I said, my arm is getting tight. And he was like, all right. So she comes back over and he was like, this hurts. Or he's, either says this hurts or she like is hurting her, something like that. He like lets her know something ain't right. And she's like, is it hurting? So then I said, yeah. I said, something's not. And I can't even get words out because it's increasingly getting worse, but like quickly. Things are like going bad very quick. And so I'm like caught off guard by how fast it's happening and by how painful it is. So I couldn't even get words out. I'm sweating. So I just keep saying like, something's not right. Something's not right. And I was like, yeah, that hurts. Something's not right. So she comes, she looks at the arm and she's like, yeah. And she presses the side of my arm. I'm like, I just told you it hurts. So she was like, yeah, your arm is swollen. Your arm's getting swollen. She's like, I'm gonna have to take it out. So she's like, we're gonna have to do the hand. So I'm like, okay. So she comes, she takes it out. She was like, your arm should go back to normal. She like asked me, was it okay? You know, he's holding it together because he don't want to freak me out. But you can tell he's concerned now because he's like, what the hell was that? Like, what just happened? So I was like, I'm talking to him and I was like, that was weird. Like that hurt. Like something wasn't right just now. That was not just even normal pain of just getting stuck with the needle or her moving it around. Like that hurt. And so I'm looking at my arm. My arm is so swollen. I could not even make a fist. So she was like, it'll go down. So she was like, yeah, we're going to have to go in the hand. So now I'm like crying because I was like, I literally said, let's just do the hand. When you said that you weren't sure about the arm and I said, I don't want you to have to stick me twice. I said, let's just do the hand. And she did not do the hand. Now, granted, like I know that she knew I very much did not want her to stick me in my hand. But again, if you like stick me in my hand once, this is my thought process, stick me in my hand once and I'll have to bitch and moan about it. Or stick me in the arm and it may not work, take that out and then stick me in my hand. Now you done stuck me twice. And you're prolonging the transfusion. So she goes to the hand. It just gave me chills thinking about it. She goes to my hand, flips it over. She starts pushing the veins. I'm like, hey, yo, we're not about to do the pushing of the veins, cuh. Like, you said it was fine. You said you saw a vein you liked. Pick a damn vein. Jab me in it. And I'm ready to go now. So I'm like crying and upset. And then she asks him something about like, she was like, I'm sorry. She's like, I don't want to torture you. She's like, I didn't mean to make you cry or something like that. And then she either asked me or asked him. I don't know, because at this point I am like dripping sweat down my back. So she's like, what? You don't like the needle or you don't like the transfusion? She's like trying to figure out what the problem is. And he was like, she doesn't like needles. Like she doesn't like getting stuck with the needle. She was like, okay, I understand that. I'm like, motherfucker Jones, do you? Because you just stuck me twice, like when you could have just stuck me the one time. So she goes in the hand, and when she puts it in my hand, she has trouble with the hand. And then she like moves the needle or something like that. But she finally gets it, but even that hurt. And let me tell you something. If you haven't gotten an IV in your hand, nigga, it's awful. It's awful. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It's awful. I thought I hate getting IVs in the crevice of my arm because the skin is thin and it's just, oh, God damn, it's making me itch. Even when I got my tattoo, right where one of the butterflies or something is right on the fold. And it turned purple after she got done. So for like the whole week I was in Miami, everything was healing. The butterflies up at the top were healing. And right here on the cuff of my arm, or like the bend of my arm, was like a little purple knot. And I was like, oh, that's great. This will never go away. Just because like it just is not, that's not for me. So she does the hand. It goes through. She's like, then she said something about me drinking my water or something. I'm like, this is not a me thing. Because the first week I came in here, they didn't say boo jack shit about drinking no water. And the lady stuck me perfectly fine. They didn't say a word to me. No one told me I had to drink water. So you just don't know what you're doing. Because even if I was dehydrated, let's say I was dehydrated the first time, that woman stuck me so fast that I literally had turned my head and she was like, done. She was done. She counted like 3, 2, stuck me and was done. IV was in, take me down and everything. So you don't know what you're doing. So when we leave, I call my mom. Well, I'm like popping it to him. And I was like, I'm going to find that lady. I'm going to beat her ass in the parking lot. Like, I was so pissed. And he was like, I don't know what that was about. He's like, that was worse than last week. So then he's like asking about my arm and everything. I couldn't move my arm for days. It was so tight. It like I was trying to massage it. It hurt my arm in the mid, like where she stuck me. It turned purple. It was bruised. It was the worst. So when we leave, I call my mom and I tell her like, you know what just happened. My mom's like, don't you let her stick you with another fucking needle. And my mom does not say the F word. Oh, sorry, Mom, because she's gonna watch this. But she was like, she doesn't know what she's doing. Next time you go in there, tell them you want somebody different. And da 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 da. So now we get into the conversation of like advocating for like my health care and my wellness. As soon as she tells me, when you go in there next week, tell them you want somebody else, I was like, oh, she wasn't that bad. Maybe I need, like, I was like, I don't want to hurt her feelings, like, because she clearly doesn't know she's bad. So I don't want to hurt her feelings. My mom was like, that's a big deal. Like, you don't need to go to her. She was like, it's not that I think that she has no idea of what she's doing. And she was like, but clearly something's not right, because I had to get blood work like 3 weeks before my transfusion started. And my mom was with me when I had to get blood work done. And it's before I found out about the PCOS. And the woman, we were in the room and I'm like stressing about the appointment and everything that was already going on. And this black woman came over, cleans my arm up, and she was like, I'm sorry. She's like, I'm gonna make it real quick. She put it in like immediately, like no problem. Put it in, blood starts pouring out of my arm. She filled up like 9 vials. Not a problem. Not a problem. Not one time. Not once did she say, Tav, you had some water. So now the 3rd week, we're like, all right, we're not going back to her. The 4th week, I had off in the middle of the week on like a Tuesday or something like that. So I was like, I'm going to schedule the appointment for Tuesday so that we don't have to leave, like try to leave work and go and get there on time. So I do the appointment at like 10 in the morning or something like that. And at the time I was living near where the hospital that I had to go to. So we wake up, we go there, and they give me the woman's, like, I don't want to say her friend, but it's the woman from the last 2 weeks, her coworker, because I had seen her. So I'm like, God damn it, she don't know what she doing either. Like birds of a feather, you don't know, honey. So she comes in, she asks me questions. She was like, she's asking blah, 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 blah. And she was like, this is your last one, right? And I was like, I have one more after this and then I'm done. She comes over, she checks my arm. She's like, which one did you do last week? I tell her which one. She said, do you have a preference? And I was like, no, I said I had to do my hand last week. She says, okay, do you have a preference of arm? And I was like, I prefer to do this left arm because of where the machine was. She says, okay, cool. She comes over, she looks at my arm, and she says something. She asked me, did you drink water? I'm like, yes, I drank water. So now I'm like, is it me? I don't understand why they keep asking me that now. So she was like, okay. And she's like, just make sure you're keeping up on the water, because she's like, your vein, she's like, you do have some good ones over here, but your vein looks, like a little flat. So I'm like, okay. She doesn't go in the vein in the middle. She goes in the vein on the side of my arm, which no one has ever done. But again, right in, like seconds. She goes right in. She starts the machine. I go through the whole transfusion. Done. Not a problem. I go back week 5. Probably the nicest woman that I had my whole 5 weeks there. This woman comes in and she asks about my arm. Same process. Tell her the arm. My mom was with me this time for the last one. We go through the whole thing, and then she was like, okay. So I said, well, let me turn my head because I don't want to look. I don't want to look at it. And as I'm telling her that and turn my head, she goes, well, I'm done. So I don't know what you're doing. And I was like, huh? She had gotten the IV in. The blood came down the tube. She taped me up. It took her no time. I didn't even feel it. Perfect. My last lady was perfect. That lady, I wish I knew her name, not to tell y'all, but so that I could because they send you like a little survey thing. And I wish I knew her name so I could put in the survey, she needs to go to study hall for it. They gotta re-up, and she's like an older woman, so I wonder, they need to do some sort of a thing, and I don't know if they do or they don't, but like nurses, doctors, surgeons, dentists, teachers, people with a driver's license, every couple of years y'all need to go and do just a check-in, just a check-in test, just so that everybody still remembers the fundamentals and what's going on, because she done forgot some shit. Because she fucked me up. She fucked me up bad. My arm was bruised from when I went back that week after, my arm was still purple. She needs a refresher course. The last time that I went to her, the third week, that is the most traumatic thing that I've ever dealt with, like getting a needle like that. Because I was petrified. I was like, I don't know what's happening, but because I was scared, I couldn't even get words out to be like, oh, it feels like this. It feels tight. It feels this. It feels that. And then I went to touch it, and my arm was warm. So I'm like, this ain't, lady. You can't be fucking around with people's veins. It gets to a point, honey. So that it was, yeah. I'm losing my, let me reset myself. That was the worst. It was really the worst. I finished my 5th one though, and I have to go back. Oh shoot. I have to go November, December, January. I have to go back to my primary care physician in January, and I'm supposed to get my blood work before then. Now, something I did think about, and I was telling my mom this, or maybe I was telling my boyfriend this. I was telling one of them. What I do think could have happened is that when I went in, my anemia had gotten so bad during the summer. So in my old house, my freezer I had an ice maker, and it would drop, down into the bucket, because it was like the double doors, and I had a pull out freezer, so the ice wasn't in the door. So I would clear the ice out the bucket every day. I was eating ice back to back to back. I could not stop. And then in this past summer, not only was I clearing the ice, but I knew in my head how long it took for ice to drop. So I knew okay, ice just dropped. It'll take about another 19 minutes or something like that for more of it to drop. I started ordering bags of ice on GoPuff, or I would call my boyfriend and be like, can you bring me a bag of ice from the corner store or from 7-Eleven? So I would buy 2 5-pound bags of ice and put them in my freezer, so that one, there was ice in my house, because I was eating all the ice, so my sister didn't have any. And then I would eat the bag of ice. It was so bad. I want to go through wonder if I go through my order history to see how much money I spent on ice this summer, because I was buying 2 bags at a time. I could not stop. It was bad. I couldn't stop, but I didn't know it was anemia. And it would get to a point where if I wanted to snack, in my mind, if I wanted to snack, I was so used to eating the ice that I was like, oh, let me go get a cup of ice. So I started doing the iron transfusions, and then The first one, I wasn't craving ice. It was almost like immediate. I wasn't craving it, but there was still like a little underlying thing of like, oh, I could eat it. Like I could eat some ice. By the second week, by that second transfusion, I wasn't buying ice. I wasn't eating ice. And then I think like week 3 or 4, somewhere in there, I wasn't even thinking about it. I had completely forgotten. Like I had a specific cup that I would eat ice out of that I would keep in my bedroom. And I hadn't even touched it in 3 weeks. So it was definitely working. And what I wonder is, since I was eating so much ice, I was getting my water intake from the ice. Because that's one thing. Eating that ice, I could not stop peeing. I was going to the bathroom non-stopped, like constantly going to the bathroom every time I ate ice. So I wonder if that's how my body was getting the water. So I wasn't dehydrated because I was always eating ice. I was getting water through the ice. When I stopped eating the ice, my body was like, oh, damn, this nigga is not drinking any, like we haven't had any water. But it didn't dawn on me at the time that I was doing that. So now, like even now, I'm like as I'm talking to y'all, wait a minute. Okay. I had to get my water bottle. As I'm talking to y'all now, I'm realizing I don't know the last time I had, well, I think, no, I had water before I started recording. But like, now I have to be much more intentional about actually drinking water. Because before, like me drinking my water, what I thought was enough was just supplemental to me eating ice. So now I have to be so much more intentional about doing it. And I'm horrible at that. I know I am. I'm terrible with doing it. So I'm trying to do better. And I have so many water. You would think between the Stanley, I got 2 Stanleys. I have my boyfriend got me this Love Island water bottle for my birthday. I have this. Someone just gave me a coldest water bottle. I have 1,000 Starbucks cups. You would think with all these water bottles I have, I would not have an issue. They're just collector's items at this point. It's just, I'm just simply collecting the items because I'm not drinking water, and I don't know what to do. Like, I used to drink water all the time. I used to get on my mom about drinking water, and now it is like the biggest inconvenience to me. I don't know how to get myself back to drinking water at a healthy, like, you know what I mean? Like at a healthy rate or healthy limit, whatever the word is. Me and my dad used to drink like a gallon a day. We would send each other our pictures and everything. And I just can't do it. I don't know what to do. And it's so frustrating because I want my body to have, you know what I'm trying. And I can't. It's just frustrating because I don't know what to do. And I tried to, excuse me. I not too long ago tried to eat a piece of ice to see if I liked it. It was nasty. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, I'm not interested in this. I spit the ice out in the sink. It was nasty. And I was like, dang. I remember like when my mom used to be like, make sure you take your iron pill. I would tell her no. I'd be like, I just bit my tongue. If I take the iron pill, then I know it's going to do what it's supposed to do and cut the craving. And it didn't. Let me tell y'all something else. This is that lady's other strike. One of the side effects of an iron transfusion is constipation. They tell me this the very first week. First week, I don't have I don't experience that. Second week, I get the transfusion. I go home, nothing. Next day, nothing. Next day, nothing. I did not go to the bathroom for like 4 days, maybe 5 days. So my boyfriend was like, when you go back, make sure you tell them, because they can give you like a, what did he call it? Not a laxative, but what did he call it? A stool softener, a stool softener. So he was like, he had broken his hip like a year or something ago. So he kept giving me all this advice of like, they have this for this type of symptom. They can give you this for this. They can give you this for this. That nigga is like the Meredith Grey of of hospital talk at this point. So he kept saying like, they can give you, if you tell them that you got this symptom, they can give you blah, 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 blah. So when we go in there the third week before she stabs me in my hand, she says, how are you? She's asking about my symptoms and everything. And I was like, oh, I'm constipated. This lady says to me, well, I told you that. Okay. Are you going to give me something? Like, I just stared at her. She's like, she don't listen. Didn't I tell her that? And he was like, yeah. But you can tell he was confused. Because I was like, well, I'm telling, like, you told me that I may get constipated. It didn't happen the first 2 weeks or the first week. I'm now back the third week and it happened. So give me something for it. You know, like I didn't understand. So she was like, she starts naming things like you could drink prune juice. You can take, get a laxative. Maybe you could do Miralax. You can do this. You can do that. And I was like, yeah, but my insurance covers this trip. Oh, why aren't you prescribing me something? Why aren't you reach in your drawer and give me something? I was so confused. So I was like, okay, cool. Okay, that's fine. So now I was like, what? Like, I'll just buy it. So then we left. I had to do like a check-in real quick with him. And I was like, is it just me? Or I was like, I thought she was going to give me something. He was like, well, that's why I told you to tell her, because I thought she would prescribe, like, give you something for it. And she didn't. So I ended up getting some, like this, the little Miralax thing, because I could not take a shit to save my life. And she was like, yeah, that happens. I was like, lady, it help me. Like, like I had told somebody at work, and she even bought in, like, she gave me some like the Miralax powder. She gave me little chocolate tabs, like laxatives and everything. And she was like, take the chocolate, drink the Miralax, and then you'll be good. And it did work. Well, I didn't know. And he said he told me this, but I don't remember him telling me this. Apparently you have to take it every day. And I didn't know that. So I was like taking it. Oh, you know what? Maybe he did tell me that. Because he was like, take it. He was like, just because you go doesn't mean that you're actually not constipated. Maybe he did tell me that. I swore that he didn't, but maybe he did actually, because now that I'm saying it to y'all, it sounds familiar. So I ended up, like, you know, buying stuff. So now I have this big ass bottle, like jug of Miralax, which I really need anyway, because I don't like to go to the bathroom. So sometimes I just don't, you know, it's I think I'm autistic, honestly. I really think it's like is autism the sense, it's a sensory. I think I have sensory issues. We can get into that another time, because noise lately, not even just if it's too loud, I can't function. So I don't know, maybe I need to take that test. But yeah, that lady was not great. I forgot about the constipation thing. She just turned around and was like, well, I told you that. Okay, help me poop. Like, you told me and now it happened. Like, help me. Nigga, you're my nurse. I was so confused. Yeah, that whole experience was, honestly, I don't wish that on my worst enemy. I hated going to the hospital. I would come home and take all my clothes, like immediately strip down, take everything off. I didn't feel dirty because I was in there, But hospitals, even when my brother was getting chemo and I would spend the night with him, I'm like, I cannot wait to get home and put these clothes in the washing machine. It just makes you, it's because everybody's in there. I mean, somebody always has a damn cough. Somebody's coughing. Somebody, they're elderly. And it's not anything against it's just that oh God, it's just too much. It's too much. So I have to like go, but I was leaving my shoes in the hallway. I couldn't do it. So I did say when I go back to get my blood work done, I pray to God for my sake that I no longer have an iron deficiency, because I'm not doing that again. I'm just not. I don't think, can you die from I think actually it depends on how bad my numbers are, honestly. Or I'd have to talk to my doctor and be like, can I take the pill? Because I can't. Every single week, that it just was hard. It just was too much. I just can't. I won't do it again. I don't want to do it again. Maybe I wish there was a way I could test it at home, because I would just take an iron pill every day. But they did tell me when I was doing my transfusions, once I start the transfusions, don't take the pills. But I haven't had ice in months. Even if it's in my water and it gets in my mouth, I put it back in the cup. Like, even if just a little bit, I won't even chew what's in the cup. If I get a lemonade or like I just don't want it anymore. So that's good. I didn't mean to turn this episode into bashing that lady, but she tried to kill me. You can kill somebody like that. That's my vein. And you can kill somebody like that. I know that for sure. Because I watch Grey's Anatomy. And I'm actually binge watching Grey's Anatomy right now. And so I know the ongoings of the medical field. Take that. So, transfusions, horrific. The boy got well. I'm well. All is well. And now we're back. We're back to Girl, We Need to Talk. If you have any questions, put them in the be nice about it though. Don't be an ass. Because I'm doing my best. Don't y'all like get real sassy when y'all don't get what y'all want. Because sending me my own picture and somebody saying we don't care about this is wild. Saying we don't care about this and then putting a comma and saying, when are you going back to potting, with like a happy emoji, is crazy work. It's crazy work, because you don't hate me, but you hate me. So if you have a question, just don't be an ass about it, because it's just, I'm trying. Like, I'm filming this already. What am I talking about? I'm gonna cut this, stop filming this, and then I think I'm gonna do another one, because you know what I would like to talk about? The Danish deception. I just need all my ladies to gather around, black girls, but gather around. Actually, you know what? Brown girls, gather around, but really, really mostly black girls. And we need to talk about this, because yeah, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's just, and if you don't know what that is, we'll talk about it. I would love to put you on, because I'm victim blaming, and I don't care, because I don't care. That lady's an idiot. So we'll talk about that. But, yeah, what are we at? It says 54 minutes, but it's really probably we're probably somewhere in the 45 minute range, which is what we usually do, back in the day before I lost my marbles. So, another thing that I want to say really quickly is, even though I laugh and I joke about y'all telling me I don't care about my life, even though y'all was being dead serious, I do appreciate that over the last year, there's not one time that I posted something either on my story or on my actual page where people didn't comment something, either ask me about my brother or just pouring kindness into me or send me DMs, or there's like 2 or 3 people consistently who were constantly sending me messages about Marcus, or like just sending me like a quick little like, y'all got this, keep your head up. I can picture it in my Instagram, like my DMs right now. I know exactly who it is. Constantly for a year straight, never stopped. Even though I've gone AWOL, the girlies in the Discord constantly were checking on me. Kat constantly. Even when I don't answer, I can read it and not respond, and she'll still send something the next day and say, you know what I mean? Like, say something nice. You don't realize at the time, because you're so in the thick of like packing the bag and having to like make the arrangements to go up to the hospital, spend the night. You hearing the beeping. You worried about his attitude. You're worried about his mood. He has to get. It's just they're back and forth in the room. He's there for 5 days straight. So like you're so in the thick of like the muck, like the chemo of it all, that I just kind of went on autopilot. So I really didn't have room to do anything else except focus on that. And I kind of like, I don't want to say lost sight of myself, but I did like, I withdrew from classes. I was not going to work all the time. The nights that I could, I would spend at the hospital. I was leaving work and going straight up to the hospital. Like I would leave work, go home, pack a bag. My boyfriend would take me from my house up to the hospital and then come to the hospital, pick me up and take me home. Sometimes I would spend, or not sometimes, once a week I would spend the night there with him when he was there. And then I would stay the whole next day with him. He would pick me up then, take me home. It just was like a constant cycle of just like, just making sure he was okay. And so it became easy for me to be like, oh shit, like I didn't record, or I need to record, or I haven't been to the studio, or whatever the case may be. And honestly, shout out to Learn Lionel, because we used to text back and forth, and not used to, but like even still. And I'd be like, don't hate me, but I cannot, like I can't do it. And they were even still always like, when you're ready to come back, you're like, your mic is here. Like, it's not a problem. You don't, like, that's not the thing you need to worry about. So between, I don't know, just like this sense of community was so helpful. I cannot thank y'all enough. There's people who like sent my brother money on Cash App. There's people who bought like we did like a Little Caesars pizza fundraising kit. There's people who bought pizza kits. Anything. People were DMing me, asking me for his Cash App to send him money. Somebody had asked me one time, like, I don't have Cash App, does he have Venmo? And so I had sent him the money from my Venmo. It was so nice. It was so nice. And I can't thank y'all enough. Like, on behalf of my whole family and Marcus, I thank y'all so much. Like, the checking in on me, checking in on him, all the nice words that y'all said, even like liking it. People were sharing the post to their Instagram stories. I was constantly getting notifications that somebody had shared something. So y'all tune in to stuff and y'all like support me in the pod or whatever, but all of that means nothing compared to this last year. Y'all showed up and showed out. So shout out to y'all. Like, y'all have earned the name Saints. I love y'all so much. We are back. It's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to just go with the pace that I can go. I'm going to do my editing. I'll do clips and everything like that. If the clip starts off with captions and then by the end of the clip there's no captions, that's because I got tired of doing this shit. And I just, it's either clip or it's caption. It can't be both. So bear with me. I'm trying to get my sea legs back, as the yacht people say. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. Season 2, episode 1. Girl, we need to talk. This is Samaj. I'm so glad to be back. I hope y'all are still locked in with me. I love y'all so much. And I will talk to you next week.